I dumpster dive for grocery store dumpsters for groceries. But like, I don't think that that's a neurodivergent thing. I think that's just like.
Can we clarify?
Something is wrong with me.
You dumpster dive?
Yeah.
As in?
Yeah.
Like a person without a home would do?
That's the thing. Homeless people are usually have more dignity than dumpster diving.
And we're so fucking back.
Yeah.
It's the You're an Idiot podcast. I'm Alex Drago. Joined with me today, a pod regular, a pod champion.
Wow.
We might call you. We're going to call you a pod champion, backed by popular demand. Chloe Radcliffe, everybody.
Thank you. Right now, I'm a one-hit wonder, and we're about to see.
Yes. Well, yeah, you'll be a regular after this.
Yeah.
Yes. One hit. You kind of nailed it last time.
Thank you.
People loved it.
Wow, that's fun.
Well, I think people loved it because you kind of dunked on me in what, sequestration? In sequence?
I know what you're trying to say. Except you fucked it up so badly.
Sequestration? What is it?
Now you fucked
Maxim, what is it?
In rapid succession, maybe?
Succession. Maybe. Chloe fucked me up last time, and our listeners absolutely loved it. I kind of came in hot about her relationship, and I asked her about her show Cheat. We had different thoughts on cheating, but ultimately...
Yeah, you think it's good. I think it's bad. Gotcha.
Wow. She's back, folks.
She's back.
This is great. We haven't had you, in 6 months?
Yeah, I think so.
What have you been doing? What have you been up to? I see this is the first thing I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Filmed a movie with Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Did this just happen?
We wrapped. Yeah, we wrapped.
Golly. The Hollywood term wrapped, folks.
Yes.
What was it about? What's the deal?
I can't really talk about it.
Huh. Should have asked you that before.
Yeah. Good prep, though.
But like there's been like articles and headlines and all this shit about it.
And it's sort of a like, if you want to know, we're very, it's very, our lips are fairly sealed. And
oh, that's like this. Oh, it's a stand-up movie that they're making. You can't talk about it.
Yeah.
They've been filming at the Cellar.
Mm-hmm.
And that could possibly be the movie that you were in.
Could possibly.
Can you talk about filming? Can you talk about other stuff? Can you talk about the process?
Like what it was like?
Can you talk about anything regarding it that doesn't have to do with the plot? Can you talk about auditioning? Can you talk
I certainly can't talk about auditioning.
Jesus, Chloe.
I can talk about like other auditions. I can talk about like...
But this is your first proper movie that you're in.
Totally,
It's going to be in
it's
theaters.
my first movie.
And so you kind of have to keep everything on the DL.
Yeah, it's very... Basically, the idea is that like, yeah.
How about this?
No, you go ahead.
Let me step on you for a sec. How about this? How much better treated are actors than comics? What's the difference between a green room experience as a comic versus an actor in a trailer or on set? I think that's a proper question that you can answer, and if you don't, we will stop the podcast.
No, that's a great question. I actually think comics are so much more in control of their like all of their surroundings, all of their decisions,
sure,
how they run their own show.
Mm-hmm.
So on one hand, like, yeah, sometimes the green rooms are absolute dog shit.
Of course.
But as an actor, you're much more like, at everyone else's whim. Like the actors are in some ways the most important people on the set. They're never the most important people on the set. The director is always the most important person on the set. But like in some ways the actors are, so venerated. And in some ways it's sort of like, you are a hollow vessel here to do what somebody else tells you to do.
Right.
And this is my second professional acting gig, and my first one was in a Steven Soderbergh miniseries.
Right.
And
you keep landing these unbelievable roles.
Really stupid.
It's so cool, dude.
Yeah, it's
very,
insane.
very cool.
Thank you.
You're the open vessel. Do you feel like because like as a comic, you know when you're doing well. Do you know when you're doing well when you're acting?
I don't.
Right. That I imagine that would be really frustrating.
Yeah, I do not. And so many people are like, what, like, can you tell how it's going when you're on a shoot? And I'm like, nope, I absolutely cannot. I do not know.
How do you like navigate that, asking for feedback and doing all that stuff?
I never have.
So you're just like, hey, that was me, folks.
Yeah.
You finish your line, and that was me, Chloe.
That's going to do it for me. Thanks,
Yeah.
everybody. One more time for
Yeah.
the first AD.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. That was a good time. I just feel like it's like you're kind of swimming without like a raft, like without a paddle in a way, no?
Yeah. I mean, I think that it's probably, but like think back to the first couple of years that we were doing stand-up.
Awful.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of like, you don't know how you're like comporting yourself in certain situations. And like you might be up on stage, you might know if you are, whether you're crushing and whether you're bombing.
Okay.
But like I look back at, there's lots of sets where I'm like, oh, I thought that was good.
Of course.
Or I thought that was bad, where like my read was off.
Sure.
And I think that there's a degree of just like, I'm new as an actor.
Yeah.
And I'm not new as a stand-up. You're not new as a stand-up.
Of course. Yeah. And you're like allowing yourself now to just kind of, can you enjoy it when it's that high, that stressful?
It's exciting.
Yeah. I just feel like it would be so,
It's
everything. Yeah. You don't have the immediate reaction, so you don't really know,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Are you, you're done now?
Yeah.
Are you just gonna be touring this summer then?
Yeah, this summer, I have a couple like writing projects. I have a couple scripts that I am working on. And so then I have less stand-up dates on the road than boy, oh boy, do I feel bad about splitting my time between stand-up and like TV film.
Oh,
That is my like, I have a foot evenly in both worlds, and I thought that they worked together, and they do not. They really compete for time and attention, which like makes complete sense. But
are you pitching stuff right now? Are you writing for something
right now? I'm being paid to write a pilot, and then I will ultimately pitch that as a show.
Oh.
And I just pitched on a feature rewrite.
Okay, cool.
Where like somebody else wrote a movie. The company was like, we like the idea, but we don't like what you've done with the script, and we don't trust you to do a rewrite, or we don't think that what you would do on a second try.
Yeah.
Or a fourth try. Like, I don't know how many tries they had done with that person.
Sure.
And so they move that person off, and then they hire another writer to come in and take a whack at the same idea.
Ooh.
And like I sold a movie, and I found out recently that it got given to another writer.
They weren't happy. It's just so they like the idea, but they're like, Chloe, thanks for taking it this far.
Yeah.
Is that pretty much what it is?
Good work, buddy.
It's like, dude, you got to first base.
Yeah.
That's fucking good.
Yeah.
Like,
Chin up.
Not really where we want it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just imagine some like dude like 1930s like old Hollywood guy be like, good job, kid. But he's not.
He's absolutely straight faced. No. Good job. He's like you doing dirty talk.
Ooh, yeah.
Nice callback.
A phenomenal callback. By the way, how's your relationship?
Great.
Still with the London boy.
He's the best.
Every other month, you said? Every month you guys see each
It's like
other?
we don't have it. So it's like this spring, he was here for 2 weeks in January. Then I was there for 2 weeks in February. Then he was here for 10 days in March.
Yeah.
Then I was there for 10 days in April. Then I was there for a month in May.
Solid.
Then he came here for a week in June. He's coming here for a week in July. It's just like when we can make it.
Very good.
Both of us are like, both of us have a lot of work on our own countries.
I believe it. I think it's great. I came in too hot last time, and I think love will prevail, folks.
We're going to find out.
I really believe that. By the way, I actually moved to your hood, Ridgewood.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't know how public we should be about this, but got my own place.
Where in Ridgewood? Bleep this out.
Yeah, can you bleep the next thing I say out? It's by the
Oh, cool.
right there.
Great.
Like across the street from there.
Great.
You can bleep until across the street from there, Maxim. But yeah,
it's funny that he doesn't trust you to figure out how to bleep identifying information.
We've got a new guy. Well, not a new guy. We've got a sub in today, Maxim, and he and I are at odds already.
Yeah, sorry. I was only going to bleep the name of the restaurant and not the cuisine genre. I was going to leave the second half in so people could deduce where you might be.
Thank you.
Wow,
that's
Maxim.
what I would like.
Already betraying me. So this is so Maxim.
And will you just say into the microphone what your lockbox code is?
Yes. But what's your what would be your abnormality? Your personality abnormality?
I'm trying to think. I mean, like, I have a lot of fucked up shit that I do.
There we
I
go.
dumpster dive for grocery store dumpsters for groceries. But like, I don't think that that's a neurodivergent thing. I think that's just like.
Can we clarify? So wait,
something is wrong with me.
You dumpster dive?
Yeah.
As in?
Yeah.
Like a person without a home would do?
That's the thing. Homeless people are usually have more dignity than dumpster diving. Like it's actually like a very common
oh no. I don't think
like
you're
an
gonna be able
etiquette thing among the people who dumpster dive where it's like
wait, you guys have like a Facebook group?
we have a Signal group chat.
You guys so you dumpster dive.
Yeah.
How often?
Whenever I need produce. You open those bins, it's the most beautiful peppers you've ever seen.
Okay, this is something we
the body language change is incredible.
I wanna approach this in one of the most polite way possible.
No, knock yourself out.
I'm
Rip me to shreds.
so irked by this.
Yeah.
I can't even really express.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ever coming back on the pod. You said repeat guest too early. This is
we're having
I'm a two-hit wonder.
We're having you back. But for the love of God, Chloe, what are some things you're getting out of these dumpsters?
So the easiest things to get are bread and produce. Any bagels, any produce. There is like grocery stores cull shit every night or, every 2 nights or whatever.
Produce as in like, are we talking like fruits?
Vegetables and fruits? Yeah, what other produce?
Yeah, but usually that's not the stuff that's packaged.
Correct.
Because wouldn't you want stuff that's packaged?
Well, that's an easier entry level. That's packaged is absolutely an easier point of entry for dumpster diving.
Okay. All right. Let me try to figure this out. So you physically you're kind of jumping in a dumpster, right?
Those are my younger years.
Okay.
Now I basically limit myself. If you want to like really find all the shit,
so you're cheap essentially?
Then you have to get in. Yes, I'm the cheapest person I have ever met.
Okay, and
proudly.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to change it a little?
No, I kind of love it.
Okay. All right, we can get into that as well.
Yeah.
You dumpster dive for food that is usually gone. It's not bad yet, technically, right?
It's like there is a bruise on it that makes it not saleable, or it's not. I mean, like I would say probably 2/3 of it is something that like the grocery store has deemed not saleable.
What's the grossest thing you've grabbed from a dumpster?
Locks.
That's disgusting. That's not good. I didn't like that at all. I don't know what I was hoping for, but that kind of ruined my day.
Yeah.
Locks?
Yeah.
And was it like next to like toilet paper? Like what's the deal? Like how are you plucking it?
So there are like there will be a bag that is a garbage bag that like came out of a garbage bin. And like that's not what you're looking for. You're looking for like the grocery store has gone through and like there's a bag that's full of boxes of cereal because that box of cereal is like about to expire, or they need to clear space on the shelves because they're getting a new shipment.
Okay.
And then you open it up and there's a bunch of boxes of cereal in there.
Sure.
That's that's a like nice version.
That's a posh way of dumpster diving.
Yes, that's it.
And you've gotten locks. I mean, how is it usually packaged again?
Locks? It comes in like wrapped in cellophane,
Okay, so it's not touching other stuff technically.
So, I mean, sometimes stuff is, but like when I found the locks, no.
Have you ever grabbed something that was touching other stuff?
Sure.
Can you give me an example?
I don't even
like. Have you grabbed like turkey that was like slapped on top of like a cereal box or something like that?
I try pretty hard to not touch loose meat.
Okay. I think that's a great like way to redeem yourself. I think that's redemption. I think we're inching close to back to this is normal. By the way, this is pretty nuts.
Yeah. But this is where it's like I don't think that this is neurodivergence. I think this is like there is a hole deep inside of me that will never be filled.
Yeah. You know, and I'm
know?
not like
I don't want to cast aspersions on people with autism because I'm fucked up.
yeah. You know, of course. No, I'm not like I'm not trying to. I'm just more like I'm not trying to
Like I don't even
harp
know
on this more.
I don't even know if it counts as a quirk, you know?
Well, it's a quirk has like a little bit of
A quirk is like, oh, I'm so weird.
right. Yeah, you can laugh about most quirks. I don't think I've laughed yet.
Yeah.
Now I am, but like I don't. No, this.
No, you blanched. Yeah.
No, yeah, like my body, like my whole disposition changed when you said that, and
You felt faint.
do you? And so you're okay. You dumpster dive.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what like actually might be like just a quirk. Just a quirk.
If you were just getting cereals,
Yeah.
that would be maybe a quirk.
Yeah.
But the fact that you were like, I get produce, like the fresh stuff.
I mean, the nice thing about
from the garbage.
the nice thing about produce is that it winds up like, particularly at grocery stores that compost, where they have a separate thing for like organics only. You literally you open a bin and it is a bin full of like beautiful, normal looking produce that has all just been dumped in the bin.
I gotta tell you, Chloe, this would be a deal breaker for me.
Of course.
Oh, okay, great. I would be like,
But
I
this
can't.
this is my podcast. This is where I'm like, I'm taking this podcast. This is where this is your podcast, right? Like,
when do you bring this up with men? How soon? Ever?
I don't know, whenever it comes up. I have dated so
whenever
many,
you've like hauled a garbage bag into your,
I would say
into your apartment.
almost every man I have dated in New York has been like, that is very cool. Not that they have wanted to do it, but have been like, there is like an attraction about it.
No, there's not. Chloe,
I don't know. I can give you a couple numbers.
There is not. I'm sorry. I'm just checking our time. What it's patently
It's insane.
not
the thing-
attractive.
but what
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's totally fine. I am not trying to be, I promise you I'm not trying to be attractive to you.
By the way, I agree. I can see that. I'm not trying to make this weird. But keep going.
Here's the deal. I think that I'm trying to figure out like how many layers back to go.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay. I have a huge birthmark on my face. I've had that for my entire life.
Yes.
It looks weird. I think
Sure.
that living with a birthmark like this, I think that like really early you basically, or like looking different, you basically have to like pick one of two, like the road comes to a fork in the woods and one side is you shrink and you like hope nobody notices you because you are so different and like the feeling is going to be is going to be some kind of ostracization.
Okay.
And the other fork is like some version of I'm already like this and I can be loud and funny and interesting and fun to be around and people can see me and not my birthmark. And that like this is a version of I have already had to figure out how to be confident living outside of the norm of what is typically considered good or attractive or whatever.
I agree with this 100%.
And that like that has given me a base level of confidence that I think then like permeates the rest of my life.
Sure.
And so there is a degree where I'm just like, so I think what the attraction is, I don't think they're like, it's awesome that sometimes you dig around in the garbage. I think the attraction is the confidence to be like, yeah, I fucking do this weird thing. What of it?
I buy stand-up as a built-up defense mechanism to what you've gone through in your life.
Sure.
As like stand-up as a reaction to what you've gone through in
Sure.
your life. I do not buy dumpster diving as a reaction.
No. I'm not saying dumpster diving is a reaction to having a birthmark. I'm saying I like dumpster diving. That would be true whether or not I had a thing on my face. Separate issue. But I'm saying the confidence to like look like I dated a hot bartender for a while and like the confidence to look a hot bartender in the face, a man who, and he bartended at like a fancy place in Williamsburg where like every single night is women who are 30 times hotter than me.
Okay.
And the and he was very handsome. And the confidence to look at that guy and be like, yeah, I fucking dumpster dive.
Right.
That is what is attractive, is the confidence.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like,
sure. I think, yeah.
The confidence to kind of be like, yeah, try me. Like, knock yourself out. Go on dates with those women who are 30 times hotter than me. They're not going to be as interesting. Like, be my guest, please.
Right. Okay.
Have fun.
Okay.
I fucking dumpster dive. Yeah, I fucking do whatever. Yeah, I'm the cheapest person I know, and I'm not going to fix it. You know, like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Is that's what I'm talking about. I'm trying to thread the needle of the like.
Yeah. You're basically saying like, I've developed if you've overcome X amount already. Dumpster diving is nothing compared to what I've essentially.
No, it's more that like what I have overcome, or just like having a birthmark taught me a base level of confidence, or like infused a base level of confidence.
Sure. Well, because
there is no other option.
Well, because to you, like what being insecure means to you is, and what being insecure is to me, and maybe to a lot of other people, is a much different thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're like, I'm not
exactly
dumpster diving.
Exactly. And it's not that I like never am. Like there certainly are people who I would not.
Is it once a week, twice a week? How long? I mean,
it used to be once a week. Now it's probably more like once a month.
I think okay, once a month's fine.
I got him.
I could probably do once a month, but I'll allow it. That is
wow. And this is what I mean about the confidence.
But once a month, I don't know. Still, I would bring it up a lot. I would be like, what the fuck?
Sure. And I would go, look at what I got tonight, man. I got some coconut yogurt. This shit is $8 a pot.
And then I'd be like, I'd smell it. I'd be like, I don't know. Where are we at on time, by the way, Maxim?
You have 1 hour of your session left.
Yep. Oh, okay, great. All right. Well, we'll roll. Cut this right here. We'll roll into the Patreon.
Let's cut it right after I tricked him into thinking dumpster diving is fine when it's only once a month.
It's not. I'm trying. I was trying to like. What is it?
What, placate? Wait, an olive branch?
That was my olive branch. Was like, yeah, sure. I mean, it would be. It's still probably a deal breaker, but I think once a month is a better. It really is. It's we all have our things. Dumpster diving, a proud dumpster diver is. I really wish there was a part of you that was like, yeah, I think it is kind of gross.
I would say, it's gross. I don't disagree that it's gross. Totally.
Right. Do you bring gloves?
No.
Why?
Because you can't really tell what you're dealing with as clearly when you
this is just objectively wrong. You should dumpster dive with gloves. I'm sorry.
A lot of people do. I don't.
Have you met other dumpster divers?
Oh yeah, there's like a whole community.
What do you mean?
I don't know how much clearer I can be.
Is it just because do you meet in the alley and go, oh hey, Chris?
Well, the nice thing about New York is the garbage is right on the sidewalk. You don't gotta go in the alley. There ain't alleys.
No,
it's right there.
I thought you're diving in like grocery store dumpsters.
Yeah, but it's on the sidewalk, past the grocery store at 9 p.m. Garbage is out front.
And it's you and just...
Sometimes it's me and Tracy, you know.
Yo, no thank you. I want to ask this. Single guy living alone.
Jesus Christ.
What are some things you look for in a guy's apartment?
In an apartment?
Yeah, where you're like, that's a good thing. That's a green flag. That's something we like.
I think
that's something we hate.
My question back to you. I'm going to answer your question with a question.
Hate that.
Do you have a sense of style?
Look at me.
Like,
of course.
I'm actually not asking, do you dress like a 45-year-old who just got promoted to middle management?
Woo!
And loves taking time off from the fam to go golfing?
No, this very much is I just got done playing 9.
Yeah.
I'm going to go take the kids to ice cream.
Yeah.
Picking them up from their moms because it didn't work.
Right. And you use words like, I got to babysit tonight, but it's like about your own kids.
No, yeah, that is the thing. I think I'm so, yeah, I'm very much like not going to have children. I don't think I'm going to have kids, but really I like the ethos of a dad and a lost dad.
Oh, there are so many things now that men in my life who I'm close to are fully in their 40s.
Mm-hmm.
Stuart is 41. I just spent 10 days in LA taking care of my ex, who is now just a good friend after he had open heart surgery.
Whoa.
And like he rented a 2-bedroom for somebody else to take care of him, and that person sort of fell through, and I was like, how about I just live in the 2nd bedroom and like help out around the house? And
damn.
And he's 45. And so now I feel like I've spent like very recently, both with boyfriend, but also with like people who I love and are very close with.
Yeah.
I have spent a lot of time now with men who are in their 40s.
Mm-hmm.
And there are so many things that I thought were dad behaviors that are just men in their 40s behaviors.
Ooh, fill me in. Fill me in.
My friend who is I guess I think.
Would you call him an ex?
I certainly do.
Well,
I don't know if he would call me an ex.
It's good enough for me. Oh, really? He wouldn't?
I don't know if he would.
Okay.
I don't know what I have no idea how he would describe it. We were like never official. We never lived in the same place.
Situationship.
Yeah, I guess it was a situationship.
That's fine.
But like grew out of a friendship and then just sort of like slowly sunsetted back into a friendship.
Okay.
Like very chill on both ends.
Wow. It's ideal.
And ideal for him when he gets his chest cut open.
Yeah.
No, but he uses baking soda toothpaste. And I was like,
whoa.
Oh, that's just 45 years old. I thought that you had to have kids to use baking soda toothpaste.
I'm the only thing I'm going to push back here on this is I don't know an appropriate time to just do baking soda toothpaste. Is that just
You're not 45 yet.
Oh, right.
Just you wait.
Is that a thing?
And like Tom's of Maine deodorant, like shit like that.
Yo, like organic stuff, or I guess like
but like not modern organic, not like charcoal, not all of it now. That's
Tom's of Maine is that's kind of old school.
Yeah, it feels dad, but it's just
sometimes you're just a 45-year-old dude.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the things that like I've been enjoying soups more. I'll tell you that much.
Sure.
A soup in your 30s.
Are you making these soups?
No.
Where are you getting? Are they coming out of a can? Are you eating them at home?
I'll
go
public soup, store-bought soup. I'll get like grocery store soup.
But grocery store soup, store-bought soup, you're not eating at the grocery store.
No.
You're not cracking open a nice can of Amy's in the aisle. See, with Amy's, you want the pop tops. You can just rip it off right in aisle 16, and chug it on down.
No, dude, it really is.
It's chunkier when it's cold.
I'm trying to think of the other things that I do where I'm just like, I'll watch golf a lot more now.
Do you golf?
A couple times a year with my dad, probably. Okay. Yeah, there's really, it's like the age thing. Oh, I actually can't. I can talk about this. I canceled the date with she was 25 last week.
Remind me how old you are.
33. Some would say that's something.
I think
it's not nothing.
I think that is admirable because I think 25 to 33 is like I'm like I never want to be in the same room as a 25-year-old. But sorry, Maxim, if you're 25. Are you? That laugh said
I'm 30.
Great.
Okay. All right.
That's good, Maxim.
Well, congrats on me thinking you might have been 25.
Nice.
Big win for you.
Attractive. So you're saying
I think when I was 25,
yeah,
I started dating men. I started dating 33-year-olds. I think I had my first thing with a 33-year-old, and I remember going, "Oh, men do not become real people until they are 33." Maxim, you're going to be so great in 3 years.
Maxim, you're 3 years away.
And I made a rule for myself that I would not date any man under 33. I broke that rule, but that was I started dating.
I think we have friends who would be like, you're going to date a girl that young. You know what I'm saying? Is it just like
totally? This is what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that 25 is 25 to 33 is right on the cusp.
My friend, he was like 24 would be weird.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Totally. 24 would be really weird.
Okay.
Somehow 25 is it's not, I can't imagine that you guys are going to really get along super well.
Sure.
But
It's just so what happened was, and honestly, no, this would be our third date, so we're getting along a little bit.
okay.
Getting along okay. But here's the thing was
She's laughing at all your jokes.
Not really. I'm kind of bombing with her sometimes.
Great.
She's funny.
That's
though.
because you're not the same generation.
Right. She didn't know who Dave Matthews Band was.
Wow.
Hurt my soul, dude.
How far the mighty have fallen.
Dude, I'm telling you, I was like beside myself. So then I started
That's crazy.
I started naming like 50 other bands.
Train? Does she know who Train is?
I gotta ask. I was like Vampire Weekend, Weezer, like all these other.
Yeah, but I feel like Vampire Weekend is like still in the ethos.
Yeah, they're not till like 2008.
Yeah, Dave Matthews Band is more just like that. That feels like such an inescapable cultural touch point.
100%.
I stand by Train. Matchbox 20 is the other like. Does she know?
There are times where I'm listening to a band, like I think I was listening to 311, and I was just like, have you heard of this song? And she was like, yes. I'm not like totally out of it.
Yeah.
But it's like, but there are things where you're like, that really
That was a bummer.
That was a bummer.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But we have been getting along. Here's what happened though. I was last Wednesday really not feeling great. Like not feeling great in the way that
About dating a 25-year-old.
Well, yeah, I had a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
But I was like in the way that only hits you in your 30s, where I'm like, I got 6 hours of sleep last night, or I got like 5.5 hours of sleep last night. I gotta get 8 tonight, or I'm like not gonna function. You know what I'm saying? In the way where it's like if you're in your 20s, getting 6 hours of sleep, like you're ready to rock. Like there's nothing can stop you.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's what it was. I was off by a couple hours of sleep, and I just was like,
are you sort of a princess in that way?
I just
like, are you easily thrown?
Also, I don't know.
Do you lack grit?
I don't think I lack grit. Maybe, dude. I just don't. I don't like to. I don't like to be like underslept. I don't like to feel like unwell. I don't like to feel.
Sure.
So it was just one of the things that
Princess.
I can't. Maybe I am a princess, folks. Maybe I am. I have a pretty intense like vitamin routine. That's not that fun. We won't get into it. Either way, I wasn't feeling great, and I canceled.
Sure.
Because I was like, I can't really push through this, and I was going on the road the next day.
Yeah.
I was going to Portland the next day.
Well, you also don't want to be out late the night before you fly 6 hours against the wind across the country.
Portland, Maine. We were flying. So.
Oh, okay.
Flying private to Portland, Maine.
I'm sorry. When you're flying 45 minutes on a 14-seater.
It was still a day. We still had like a show that night. I just didn't want to. Anyway.
Who are you flying private with?
Zelnick.
Oh.
He's the man. He's a great dude.
Of course he flies private.
This was like I think this was like a unique situation.
Sure.
But he was but yeah, so I just didn't anyway, I tell her I didn't want to like I told her I had to cancel, and she was like, yeah, that's totally fine. No big deal. But then like, and I really think this might be her age, or you can tell me if this is not her age.
Great.
Like an hour later, she texts me like, I just want you to know, like, if you're not feeling this, just tell me, because I kind of canceled stuff for tonight. Like, this is kind of sudden. If you're not, just be upfront with me.
Yeah.
Which I hadn't gotten.
When did you cancel? What, like, how far ahead of the date did you cancel?
I canceled at like 3 p.m. Probably a little late.
Yeah, certainly a little late. When had you started debating whether to cancel the date?
That morning.
The second you woke up.
The second I woke up, but I actually confirmed with her that morning.
Sure.
And then I talked to my therapist. My therapist was like, you can't put her needs above yours. Like, what are you doing?
Sure.
Like, if you want to sleep, you should sleep.
Sure.
So then I got some therapy confidence.
Sure.
And I was like, hey, I think I got to cancel.
Sure.
So then.
And the ideal situation is that you just already have the therapy confidence in you, so that when you wake up that morning, you're like, I shouldn't put her needs above mine. I should sleep. And then you don't confirm.
Totally.
Like the whiplash is, I'm on her side about like, that's annoying. Yeah, keep going.
So I was annoying. And so do you think her follow-up text of her being like, hey,
does this mean something more than just a cancel, basically?
Do you think
that's
not a 25-year-old thing? That's an any age thing, probably.
Yeah, that's a like incredibly normal question to ask.
Okay. I was just like, this young gal is just, she doesn't really get it.
Her brain's not developed yet. Yeah, she doesn't understand sleep.
I just kind of pump faked her for 6 straight hours and cancel. The 3 p.m. cancel's not great, but
3 p.m. cancel's not great.
But she's cool. And
it's not great unless the person doesn't want to go on the date.
Yeah.
You know, like if like the only time when they're like, oh yes, that awesome is like when they didn't actually like you.
Right.
So that means I would say like she did like you.
I mean, that's
Are you gonna see her again?
That's not
No.
news, folks. Of course she does. Look at me. Look at this collar polo shirt.
Yeah, look at this senior account manager. How can a 25-year-old not fall for some Brooks
tennis
shoes?
Yeah, some Brooks running shoes. I know. It's true. I've talked about her a good amount for how like new it all is. It's a little too much.
On other episodes too, or just today?
I think last week I talked maybe a little bit about her.
Does she listen to the pod?
I would be shocked. Do you know what? I'll say this. I've had girls text me, listen to your pod, not going out with you next week. I'm sorry.
Great. Good for them.
What the fuck, Chloe?
And good for you. I mean, that's awesome. Then you just like neither of you had to waste your time on a person.
But the pod is not told. I mean, it is. I mean, it's a big part of my life, but it's like, but it's not like.
It's like 80% me. It's not 100% me. It's just like the vast majority, a clear representation of how I interact with the world.
It's just me being as entertaining and cool as possible.
I mean, what were the things that they got mad about?
Oh, I didn't inquire. This happened like a few months ago.
How many times has it happened?
It's happened twice, probably in the last year.
That's funny. Does it ever make you second guess something you're about to say on the pod?
No, no. Sometimes I do say something. I go, well, a girl's gonna hate that if she, like, I'll say something and I'll be like, I'm not gonna take that out, but a girl will hate that.
Yeah, like what? I do not listen to this pod.
I mean, the pod can get a little broy sometimes.
Uh-huh.
A little less bro when you're on.
Uh-huh. Why?
Yeah, you know, when we talk about Italians sometimes, you know, when we shit on the Italians.
Sure.
Like a girl won't like that.
Oh, I mean, that's annoying to me.
Yeah. Sometimes we talk about women's bodies when we shouldn't.
Sure.
We talk about women's bodies when we shouldn't, Italians when we shouldn't.
But also it's
talk about other races a good amount.
The question is
I've had weird takes on Israel Palestine.
Oh.
And, yeah, I've really, kind of shown my ass on this pod. So
that's exciting.
Yeah, so I think sometimes I can see why some women are like, wow, that wasn't even a nuanced take on the Middle East. That was just a bad one.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, but what I'm saying is, that's great. Like, what were you going to do? Hide your bad take on the Middle East for 6 months and then it was going to come out over ice cream one night and then she was going to be like, I've wasted 6 months of my life with a fucking imbecile.
Right. That's
I'm glad
true.
for her.
That's true.
You should tell all the ladies you want to go on a date with.
Maybe that's what it should be. But by the way, before we go out, here's an episode that I liked.
I bet there are people. I bet there are women who listen to the podcast who would like to go out with you.
How about this? Have you ever what have you put up with that's kind of embarrassing that you can say for a guy that you really liked? What have you put up with before? I think we all put up with stuff. I think eventually there will be a woman in my life who's like, yes, I met this guy. I like him. He's very funny. He's a good comic. One drawback, he's got this podcast. I know it's not that great to say. You know what I'm saying?
No, but what I'm saying, have higher standards for yourself. There will be a woman who is like, I think the podcast is really fucking funny.
I've also had that too.
And like, I like what you talk about on the podcast.
I had this one girl who was like, listen to 2 episodes. That was great.
Yeah.
So
that's the match that you're looking for.
Right. Yeah, but but my trauma's not. My trauma's not looking for that,
Sure. That's the match that you should be looking for.
A healthy me would.
Sorry, the therapy speak here.
Yeah. A healthy me, of course, would go to that.
Yeah.
But me?
Yeah.
Not going to that.
Yeah. What if I put up with, I've certainly put up with like bad takes on gender issues, which actually, I probably have not put up with bad takes on gender issues. I would say that's the like easiest way for me to find a man not attractive instantly. There's a stand-up in the scene who I will tell you who it is after.
Sure.
And I thought he was so hot for the first like year that I moved here. Was so into him. I think a lot of people think he's hot. He's an attractive man.
Ooh.
And then we took the train home together, like the first or second year that I was living in New York, and we got into some. I think he was saying that women are. He was like, it's not that women are biologically less funny than men. It is that women are biologically less competitive than men, and therefore they're like less adept at the world that is required to be in to do the career of stand-up. And I was admittedly
this is me?
A little drunk. I know. As I was saying it, I was like, you're gonna fucking agree with this.
No.
And no, not to your face.
No.
And I got in a yelling fight drunk on the subway with this guy, crying or certainly near crying. And ever since then, I've been like, no, not hot, not attractive at all. Like it completely
said to your face that women are less competitive.
Like, yeah.
Oh.
It was like in the context of a conversation, you know, it wasn't like out of nowhere, but yeah.
But just being like, I just think women are less competitive, and so that's
he was basically talking about, it was like,
this guy good at stand up?
I think he's funny.
Is he doing all right?
Yeah, he's doing all right.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That hurts.
And like, you know him and like him, and like I like him. I'm not friends with him. I just am like, I went from. Like
I like him?
Would fuck. I'm sure.
Oh.
I would guess.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like a very likable person. Everybody likes him. It's not that I dislike him. I just went from like, if I had the chance, I absolutely would have hooked up with him, to not if you were the last man on earth kind of thing. It just like turned off overnight.
That is one thing that you're always going to get. Like, that is one thing about being a woman in our industry or whatever. It's like, no matter how well I know a guy, I'll be like, oh yeah, like me and this guy, like we watch basketball together, like he's a great dude, like we've had only the best conversations. And you're like, and you will be, I will
like, see the underbelly.
Yeah, you're like, oh well, he asked me to eat Greek yogurt with him at 3 a.m. once. Yeah. So that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God.
Yeah.
And I hear about this like probably a couple times a year about a friend where you're like, where a female comic will be like, we
had a weird interaction.
He offered to like Uber me to like this dingy place and this, you know what I'm saying? You're like,
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, totally.
Hate that.
Men you like and are friends with are like shitty to women, and it's a real fucking bummer. It's such a bummer.
It's a huge bummer. I imagine that there's,
as a woman, it's a bummer.
As a man, a little less of a bummer, but still a bummer.
Yeah. Yeah. You get to skate across the top a little bit.
No, but it really, it's like, it's not like, and there are there are probably some things too that you will have to, or have had to go through just by virtue of like male dominated, whatever, stand up, and where you're just like, that's not like, call out, but it just but you're just like
constantly.
But you're like, man, that sucks.
Constantly. Yeah. All the time. Whether it's man that sucked in a like romantic energy direction.
Sure.
Like hitting on direction, or whether it's just like man that sucked in a like ignoring, talking down, talking over.
Yeah.
Just sort of like general like respect and not being treated as an equal. Yeah, either way. For sure. Where it's like, it's not cancelable. 100%.
Right. But that's why, like, that's why sometimes guys would be like, oh, like, that girl was like a bitch to me. Like, she was such a fucking C word to me. She was a bitch to me. And it's like, but it's like, if a woman after 25, 30 years of just being friendly with guys, all of a sudden like has to, you have to set boundaries pretty immediately with some guys, right? You just have to be like, if a guy's like, hey, like, let's go grab coffee, you kind of have to say, just so you know, we're friends, by the way.
Oh, I have like,
and I can't, and like, I've never had to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. To a woman.
Of course.
By the way, we're just friends. And you have to say that like twice a week.
Yeah. I did a show in Also, I have another good. What did I put up with that I want to come back to?
Let's go. What have you put up with? First question, every woman on this pod.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, a great question. What have you put up?
What have you put up with lately?
That's such a funny question. What have you put up with lately? I did a show in LA. And it was at the Lyric Hyperion. Have you been to the Lyric?
I've never been, but
it's
I
like
know
a little
of it.
indie theater. It's awesome. It's a lovely little room, and they have like a patio outside afterward that a lot of people hang out on. And I was hanging out there, and a guy from the show. So it was like me, two people who I know and am friends with, and then a guy who had come to the show by himself.
Yeah,
who was just a fan, who I was not friends with, but like. It's such a small theater. It's such a small patio that there's just kind of no way to duck.
Yeah.
Or it's like tough to duck a person.
Sure.
And he wasn't, it was like, he was harmless, wasn't creepy at all. I could, like, for sure, this is a person who, if I was like, hey, I noticed you in the audience and I would love to have a drink. Like, would the guy be very interested romantically? I'm sure.
Sure.
But like, he didn't feel like a threat at all. And somehow I really like, we were all sitting at this picnic table, and I was talking to one of the people who I knew, and I was like, oh my God, let's get lunch. Like, I'm here for another week or something. Absolutely. What are you doing Thursday or something?
Ooh.
And he goes, okay, great. Let's get lunch. And then the guy who I didn't know goes, and we had talked at that point. It wasn't this, like we had, spent 20 minutes talking as a group.
Right.
And the guy who I didn't know goes, can we get lunch too?
Ooh.
And I turned to the guy and I just paused and I took a beat and I went, no.
Oh, right.
He was like,
Jesus.
I can't remember if he asked why or if there just then was this like long silence where it was like, now it's on me to explain why.
Oh my God.
But I wound up saying something like, frankly, like my trips to LA are really, really packed and I have to prioritize how I use my time. And like having lunch with you is just not where my priorities are.
You just say it like that to a guy that was just
to an autistic man. I mean, certainly to a person where it's like what he is looking for. If somebody is not reading social cues like that, they are neurodivergent in some way.
Yeah.
And then it's like, the way to deal with that is to like explicitly lay out this is why.
Yes. But autistic folks, there's a bluntness that I appreciate.
Oh, totally. There's a directness that is. My boyfriend's autistic. Stuart is autistic.
How
got diagnosed at 39.
Got diagnosed at 39. How deep is the autism? How
mild. His is a mild.
What's the way to ask that? How severe?
Yeah.
How bad is it?
Hey.
How bad is it?
How tough does it make you?
Yeah.
No, he's very mild. But like
how many baseball cards does he have? Is that the I don't know.
How obsessed is he with puffins? Pretty. Very. A lot. Does he have a taxidermied puffin in his bedroom? 100% yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
He is autistic.
Loves NASCAR, loves a map. I get it.
Yeah, loves a map. Loves a map.
They always do.
Yeah.
No, that's really
I love maps. I got maps all over my house.
Sometimes I've wondered if I was autistic.
And it's so funny because I am not. I am neurotypical for sure. I think I like have basically like dating a person with autism has made me be like, oh, it's not a spectrum. It's not a 0 to 1. It is it's like a 3-dimensional, space. And like you might be in one super extreme over here, but like pretty close to average on everything else. Or you might be pretty, right? Like you might have a couple spikes.
Okay.
But like, or everybody's spikes are different where it shows up, whatever. And so like, I feel like I know I am neurotypical.
Do you think you have any personality abnormalities?
For
sure. Do you think there's one that sticks out to you where you're like,
for sure?
I think for the most part, you probably handle things pretty rationally, but do you have a pattern where you're like, wow, that's quite. I kind of do this a little bit. I have this one quirk.
Yeah, let's hear it. Yeah, this is a question that he just has an answer to. Yeah.
Mine is what's my
A question you only ask somebody because you want to talk about it. Yeah.
Well,
Let's hear what your
it
quirk
just
is.
came to me. My quirk, and I don't know what this would be. I don't know what a therapist would diagnose this as, but like
whatever it is, it's not going to be autism.
I don't think so.
No,
but
you're very neurotypical.
whatever, like, and I've talked about this maybe a year or two ago on the podcast, but like, if me and you were getting lunch, and you brought someone that I didn't know, or if someone we were with two other friends, there was four of us, and then maybe someone last minute invited if there was like one person that I don't like in like the group in the setting, I like shut down. Like shut down.
Sure.
I was in Can you take that out, Maxim? I was in blank. I was at this club and
just only take out don't take out the city.
God, take that out too. I was in blank and like this guy me and one of the comics want to go out and God, I don't feel comfortable actually telling this story, but that's really the
Wait, can you tell the loosest version? Tell the I can't talk about the movie version of that story.
The I can't talk about the movie version of that story is me and a couple comics were going out, and then this like fourth comic that I didn't really know wanted to come with.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, now I can't be a part of this. Like mentally, I was in outer space.
Totally.
Where we were at this awesome restaurant that I like going to. And,
I guess the question is, I totally know what you were saying. The question is, was that one person who you don't really like, were they actively ruining the vibe? Or was it that like actually the vibe was incredibly normal and like you could have had fun? It's just that you have this barrier that like you have this like prejudgment that if somebody enters the scene that you don't want, you're done.
And that's the thing too. It's
Do you know
like,
what I'm saying?
It's like they probably were like fine, but to me, I was like, man, this could be an A+ if they weren't here. And now
that's
it's like
funny. So it's like it
you know
probably actually was an A-. It's not that they ruined it.
Maybe. Possibly. It's hard to convince my brain that though.
Interesting.
My brain's going D+ right now, D- now because of this.
Every riff that they're doing is bombing,
and I'm just,
but only with you.
And I get so tight, like my clench my fist, like oh my God,
really?
Why'd he say that? Yeah, no, not that bad, but it really is just like
sounds that bad.
I'm just like, oh, I know, I really am just like, God, I can't believe. And so yeah, so I'll disassociate. Is that the proper word? Disassociate.
Dissociate.
I'll literally just I'll leave the.
Yeah.
I will leave the fucking room.
Yeah.
Mentally.
Yeah.
And I'll just eat my food and drink.
Did you spend a lot of time? Did you like have to be trapped with a person you really didn't get along with when you were young?
My brother? No, I don't know. I'm like I think I like things a certain way maybe sometimes. I'm very particular about stuff like that.
Are you a control freak?
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
That's what it is probably.
Yeah.
Dude, that would probably be control freak would be my biggest like ish
red flag.
Oh, red flags are that's like
we got polo. We got.
I mean, you want to talk red flags? Like the Patreon is gonna be. We're really gonna. But yeah, that's the control freak thing. I will say this in terms of relationships, not super controlling. I would say I'm not a controlling guy.
You know, I mean, I let her make a couple of the decisions every week.
No. I'm honest. It's that's actually a good point. Like I'm pretty, what is it, laissez-faire with a lot of that stuff.
You're like chill, you're relaxed.
I would say so, yeah. It doesn't matter.
What are the ways that you're a control freak?
My day is pretty set.
Okay.
When I wake up in the morning.
No wonder you get freaked out if you only have 6 hours of sleep.
Oh, without question. Yeah. It's my day. My days. I know my schedule from the moment I wake up.
Okay.
And I know, what I pretty much know what I'm gonna eat in my head by the time I wake up, like for like dinner tonight.
Yeah.
So it's like stuff like that, and I think that's kind of the crux of it.
How much do you pay per therapy session?
$25 an hour.
Damn. Oh, damn.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
I've been trying to write a bit about it because, like, obviously,
are you on insurance?
Yeah, my insurance covers it, but it's like, I was trying to write a bit about it where it's like, My therapist is $25 an hour, so we're clearly not getting much done.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, I paid the like 4 months that I was in therapy. I was paying $185 an hour
Yo.
out of pocket. It sucked.
Yeah, so you're making sure things happen. You're making
And then
sure
nothing was
movement
happening, and then I was like, I gotta go. I can't be with you anymore.
I get it. Let's wind this episode down. Chloe, where can people find you, and what do you want to plug for the rest of the summer?
I am at Chloe Radcliffe on all platforms, and I'll be in Denver, and then Tulsa, and then South Dakota, and Louisville, farther out. But the biggest thing is to sign up for my mailing list. There's links in my bio or on my website, chloeradcliffe.com. Sign up for my mailing list so that you know when I'm coming close to you.
Follow her. She's at a dumpster near you, folks. It's crazy.
I mean, the bummer about being on the road is they put their dumpsters behind, locked gates. They put them behind fences.
Huge bummer.
Huge bummer.
I couldn't imagine the pain. Guys,
Everybody's like, have you done Too Good to Go? And for me, Too Good to Go is too expensive. Why would I pay $4
oh my God, Chloe,
when I can get it for free?
Chloe, this is
Riddle me that.
I will. I mean, I still have so many things to ask about this. But we're going to wind this down. We're going to roll into the Patreon now. Thank you guys for listening. You've been an idiot for listening. Good night and good luck.